Laufey, the ruler of Jotunheim and the king of the Frost Giants, might be the most slept on being within the Marvel Cinematic Universe when discussing pure power. He lived on and ruled his planet for thousands of years and was Odin's fiercest rival and the only being in the entire universe that we ever know of that harmed the Allfather. No one else, not Hela, not Fenris, not even Surtur, ever touched the King of Asgard. Meanwhile, his arch-nemesis, Laufey, not only hurt Odin, but took his eye and pushed Odin to the brink of exhaustion. In today's video, we will be taking a closer look at the strength, speed, and durability of the powerful Jotun King. So, with all that being said, how powerful is Laufey? For millennia, Laufey ruled the Jotun on their home planet of Jotunheim. Proud and powerful, Laufey never wanted to be second to anyone in the Nine Realms. However, after the death of King Bor, Odin Bor's son would ascend to the throne. Odin was a power-hungry warmonger and quickly began a bloody campaign throughout the Nine Realms, utilizing the Bifrost to teleport himself and his army of Asgardians anywhere in the blink of an eye. Wielding the legendary king's weapon Gungnir and riding his eight-legged steed Sleipnir, which is the fastest mount in the galaxy, Odin rode into battle alongside his daughter Hela, who wielded the mighty Mjolnir atop her mount, the ferocious Fenris. The power of these two combined could not be contested, and the Nine Realms fell before them, which included Laufey and his Frost Giants. Following this defeat, Laufey would begin biding his time, and eventually Hela's ambition outgrew Odin's, and Odin was forced to banish his daughter to Hel. During this time, the Frost Giants found that their planet was in decay. They needed to relocate, and relocate quickly. So in 965 AD, Laufey led an invasion on Earth, planning to turn the planet to ice and wipe humanity from the face of the Earth to usher in a never-ending ice age, which would serve their needs. However, as Odin saw himself as the protector of the Nine Realms, he arrived on Earth to battle his rival over the fate of the planet. This war waged for some time, each army winning various battles with their leaders on the front lines. Laufey's power was immense, so much so that he could decimate entire Asgardian battalions by himself, freezing them solid and shattering their bodies into thousands of pieces. Worried that the Asgardians may lose, Odin sought out the help of the mighty Eternals to help turn the tide. After all, the standard Frost Giant far exceeds the power of the Asgardian Soldiers. This is very important to note, as previously Odin won the war with Jotunheim with the assistance of his daughter Hela. This time, he felt the need to enlist the Eternals into battle, and the Eternals are no joke. The most powerful of them, Icarus and Gilgamesh, being arguably Thanos levels of power, while Athena was as skilled, or more so, than the likes of Captain America. Druig had the ability to control minds that exceeded even the Scarlet Witch, and Makkari could move faster than even Captain Marvel. Despite the assistance of some of the most powerful beings in the universe, the battles were still not easy. During the Battle of Tonsberg, Odin and Laufey finally met on the field of battle, where Laufey was able to take Odin's eye. Laufey's ice constructs are stated to be as sharp as the finest Asgardian weapons, meaning that with just his own ice manifestation, Laufey could create weapons that rival those created by the dwarves on Nidavellir, weapons made from the legendary Uru metal, the strongest in the entire universe, even more powerful than the nearly indestructible Vibranium. Not only could Laufey create powerful weapons with his ice magic, he could wield them with expert skill. In combat, Laufey was second only to Odin, and just in case you didn't get that the first time, Laufey was second only to Odin in skill, meaning Laufey was more skilled than the likes of Thor, who stood no chance against Hela, who Odin beat, by the way. Laufey was more skilled than Athena, who is directly compared to Captain America in skill, who is more skilled than Thanos himself. Laufey with straight hands bullies most of the MCU, and that's not even factoring in his raw strength. In his fierce battle with Odin, Laufey pushed the Allfather to the brink. Bloody, battered, and exhausted, Odin finally came out on top. But to be relative to Odin in strength is no small task. Odin defeated Surtur, who at the time had his eternal flame. He was as powerful as the being we saw at the end of Ragnarok, the same one who tossed aside Hulk as if the Jade Giant were a fly, a mere nuisance to be swatted away. Laufey would likely scale near the likes of Surtur, and certainly above Hela, who had no hope of defeating Surtur, and of course we know Hela was far above Thor as well. After awakening his full power, Thor would be pushing country levels of power, able to output and endure over 855 gigatons. Meanwhile, he was weaker than his sister, who was so far below Surtur that with her most powerful attacks, she essentially did nothing to the fire giant. Odin dispatched both his daughter and the king of Muspelheim, Surtur, and while he did defeat Laufey, the Jotun king gave Odin all he could handle and again took Odin's eye. It's not a stretch to say that Odin's rival could kill the Allfather if he was ever given the opportunity. And again, Odin enlisted the help of the Eternals to defeat Laufey and his Frost Giants. Icarus is casually able to disperse the weight of clouds, making him at a lowball, small country level, but more consistent scaling would put him in Gilgamesh at the level of the Mad Titan Thanos. While moving clouds doesn't sound all that impressive, it really is crazy to do so, and to do it in the manner that he did. Researchers have calculated that the average cumulus cloud, those big fluffy ones that you see during sunny days, weigh over 1 million pounds. Clouds are, of course, made of water, and as we know, water can get very, very heavy very, very quickly. But let's get back to Laufey. He can create armor with his ice magic as well, and since his ice scales directly to Uru, his armor would as well. Uru was powerful enough to endure the 6 Infinity Stones. It's far more powerful than Vibranium. It's able to cut right through it. So with his body encased in icy armor, he becomes even more of a threat. And now that we've gone over his raw strength, let's talk about his most powerful weapon, the Casket of Ancient Winters. The casket is a powerful artifact. We're told that it can turn the planet into an icy wasteland, a feat requiring 2.378 zetatons to do, or in layman terms, enough energy to destroy a small planet. But this isn't the limit of its power. It's stated to be the most powerful relic within Odin's vault and could destroy the 9 realms by itself. The Frost Giants are somewhat empowered by the casket, and without it they are much, much weaker, even when on their home planet of Jotunheim, which again was dying anyway. So Thor's feat of running through the Frost Giants and shattering Jotunheim's surface at the beginning of Thor really isn't all that impressive and shouldn't be used to downplay the Frost Giants or Laufey in any way. The Frost Giants were massively weakened, and their planet was decaying as well. Laufey detractors often point to his death at the hands of his son Loki to downplay the King of Jotunheim, but as we just outlined, he's weaker without the Casket of Ancient Winters, not to mention he had his back turned and he was blasted with a king's weapon relative to Stormbreaker, which was also channeling the Odin force. But even while weakened, Laufey was still a force to be reckoned with. He was not afraid of Thor in the slightest, and Odin had to intervene to save his son from certain death. And when invading Asgard, Laufey casually tosses aside Frigga, a powerful witch who taught Loki everything he knew of magic, and she could throw hands and get the better of the formidable king of the Dark Elves, Malekith. And that's really all I've got for you guys. That is the immense power of the one and only king of Jotunheim, Laufey. If his son Loki was allowed to grow as a Jotun on Jotunheim, I'd imagine he'd be more than a match for his would-be brother Thor. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. Do you agree? Do you think Laufey is one of the most powerful beings within the MCU, or do you think I'm overhyping him just a little bit? Leave your comments down below. Be sure to also like and subscribe. It does really, really help us out. And remember the motto, it's Laufey over everything. And I'll see you guys next time.